Hello again, traders, and welcome back to the Hot Stocks Outlook for November 29th, 2024. I hope you all have had a nice Thanksgiving Day week here. A little bit of a disruption in the trading week with markets closed and just really a few days since the last Hot Stocks Outlook. But of course, we'll update and take a look at the most recent VantagePoint A.I predictive forecast. So if you haven't already, make sure you go ahead and click on the link down in the description below and get signed up for a live demonstration so you can learn all the specifics about how these predictive technologies are helping traders make much better trading decisions when in the marketplace. Now, as we typically do, we can start out by looking at the S&P 500. And so year to date, a little bit more gains, takes us up over 26%. And we have seen the markets climb a little bit higher, but we do see, again, some shares like Nvidia not performing well. And so the overall indices being a little bit mixed, and therefore individual equities is really where you want to identify some new opportunity. And so we can start out here with shares of ACHR Aviation. This is really where how all of these predictive indicators work, really regardless of what markets that you're trading. And so when we start out these forecasts, the first thing we want to understand is that this is all daily price action. So each one of the candles that you see, well, that's going to represent a full and complete trading day. And the first indicator, really predictive indicator that we're going to take a look at is this blue and black line right up against the price data. Now, the black line that you're seeing there, well, that's actually a simple moving average, or what we call the actual simple moving average. And this is a very common technical analysis indicator. And what it's doing is just looking back over the previous 10 close prices. It adds those all together and then divides by that number. And so what that gives us is a good baseline, right? A really rolling measure of letting us know where market prices have been. But traders want to be ahead of that next move in the marketplace. And so what VantagePoint traders are able to do is actually utilize features like the IntelliScan to identify where is this, what we'd call this predicted moving average, crossing above the actual moving average. And for this number, which is essentially a calculation of future prices plotted forward on the chart for you, well, this number is utilizing that technology of artificial neural networks, and it's performing what we would call intermarket analysis. And so what this technology is able to do is understand market relationships, really dozens, whether it be the broader S&P 500, whether it be another indice like the NASDAQ, whether it be ETF groups or individual stocks, as well as things like currencies, global interest rates, or even global commodities. It's going to look at how dozens of markets are affecting the target market that you're trading and affecting future price movements. And so this is where we can extract a lot of these valuable price clues out of the data. Some of these relationships are leading, lagging, some positive or inverse correlations. There's really this level of analysis you have to rely on artificial neural networks because there's really no way for a human to do it. And so what we end up getting is this forward-looking prediction of future prices. And so whenever we see this blue line cross above the black line, what's suggesting that these average prices are going to start moving higher, and you may want to go ahead and look to take a long position. So here in shares of ACHR Aviation, we can see the market's up 131% in just the past 15 trading days. And this all really came right after earnings, which you see right here. And what I really want to do here is just highlight how really through earnings and after that event, the predictive indicators from VantagePoint do an extremely good job here, helping traders make better trading decisions. And so while we got that big 100+% move, if you look at the very bottom of the chart, you see this bar that goes from green to red and back to green. And this is another tool utilizing that artificial intelligence neural network approach to analyzing market data, but this is tuned to solve a different problem. And this is really just 48 hours, or you can think of it as 2 trading days. And so you'll notice that whenever that neural index goes down to a red configuration, we sometimes get some subsequent weakness over the next 48 hours. And so this indicator has an extremely high level of accuracy, 80+% on an extremely wide number of markets. And this allows traders in the short term to really know what to expect here. And so when we really round this all out, you're even provided a predicted high and predicted low candle. So this gets down to intraday. So we're going for the overall trend, 48-hour predicted high and low, and really giving you that overall forecast of where things are headed. And so each week as we go through these VantagePoint predictive forecasts, we take a close look at, well, how accurate are all of these predicted high and low candles before the trading day occurs? And you can see here you get these excellent entries, really about 4, 5, 6 entries, very close down towards those predicted lows, and the overall trend resuming here. So really phenomenal stuff, really exciting move there out of ACHR Aviation. And really this works off really regardless what markets you're trading. So last week we took a look at Helen of Troy. And so we've only had a few trading days. So we actually took the information from Thursday here and say, hey, this market looks very bullish. And you see What have we seen over the next 4 trading days? Well, the markets remained very bullish. You see these really strong pushes in market price. And again, we can look at those predicted high and low candles and get a sense here of, okay, well, where is VantagePoint forecasting as markets move lower? You see we move a little bit lower than this candle, but all that's really happening is you're getting this gap filling behavior, right? All this really aggressive push higher. You get some volatility, fill the gaps towards these predicted lows, and then the overall trend, again, moving towards that predicted high and still remaining very bullish there. So really nice opportunity there in Helen of Troy. And that's only just extended this start to the move. So, we brought this through with a couple other stocks that started to turn higher here, and we're seeing, as it continues, you want to be able to exploit that as best as possible. So you've got an 11% move just in the past 13 trading days. Last week, we also took a look at Gamestop. And again, it's one of the weirder weeks where we only have a few trading candles in between the last updated forecast. But here you see in Gamestop, we get this very clean crossover to the bullish side. A couple of periods where that neural index will go bearish, but very clearly this market is in an uptrend. And so you see just over the past few trading days, a lot more bullishness, the market continuing that rally. And really, again, we see just over these past 4 trading days, another 10, almost 11% since that last Hot Stocks Outlook here, leading to about a 36% rally over the past 22 trading days. So new opportunity here in Texas Pacific land. Just a good example of how when these trends get going, just like GameStop here or Helen of Troy, right? You want to recognize this and do some trade management so that you can hold out for the longer term here. Here you see this crossover coming all the way back at the beginning of October, and you just see the tremendous amount of strength here. So this is a good example where you can see that essentially almost every day the market moves higher, right? So you get a couple of days here where that neural index technically is incorrect. It almost immediately corrects itself, and that's where you see that momentum pick up. But you see here again getting that weakness, a little bit of volatility more recently, but everything's skewing very bullishly to the bullish side here, right? So if you are a trader, you're constantly getting bullish signals that say, look, this is in an uptrend. Look, there's short-term momentum from the neural index, as well as, okay, well, you've also got those predicted highs and lows. And this is where this gets really exciting, of just numerous entries as this market moves higher. So you see here we've got probably a good dozen entries here again, right around earnings, filling some of the gap, and then that trend almost immediately resuming here. So really nice move here out of Texas Pacific land. Of course, we can take a look here at the overall trend here from the VantagePoint predictive moving average, about a 69-70% move since when that forecast first came through. Here's shares of Procter Gamble. Here you see this blue line crossing above the black line, neural index very bullish, and same thing, right? So one day where that neural index is bearish, a couple of days of somewhat subdued price action, but you see how immediately that neural index gets bullish, and we're just seeing all that momentum immediately kick in. And again, getting you ahead of this really nice advance in the market from about 160s up to about 180 per share. And of course, we can take a look at that overall move here, and about a 7% move. Obviously, Procter Gamble, a little bit larger of a stock, going to be a little bit more slow moving, but something that may be advantageous to add to the portfolio. Lastly here, shares of Sofi. And again, another good example of here of when these crossovers come through, you may have these opportunities that persist. And when you can identify a trend early, well, oftentimes you get that cushion going into earnings. So you see we get a little bit of that noise and volatility right at that earnings mark. But overall, the trend here, very bullish. And this market's almost doubled here. And over that doubling process, well, of course, we have a lot of levels coming through from the VantagePoint predicted highs and lows. So again, you see this noise around earnings, but how many times you're moving down to that predicted low, and pretty much within about 2 trading days, starting to move higher within the overall trend here. So again, really nice opportunities, and really nice opportunities spread throughout the market. So this is where you're seeing a lot of individual stocks perform extremely well. Really over the past 3 months, there's just plenty of markets where we've moved 50 to 100%. Here's Sofi up about 99% in just 39 trading days. So really exciting moves there. And really the big thing is, of course, having the tools and that game plan ahead of time of knowing that, okay, we've got these robust forecasts, we got that guidance from the short-term forecasting from the neural index and predicted highs and lows, then you can express that trading strategy, whether short-term, long-term options, whatever you might be doing, but have a robust set of tools to help guide that trading behavior. So we'll go ahead and leave it there for today. Once again, this has been the Hot Stocks Outlook for November 29th, 2024. Thank you all for watching. Best of luck, and bye for now.